Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again with another reaction for you guys. It's Spectacular Saturday, guys, and you know what that means. Of course, we are continuing the Spectacular Spider-Man. This is Season 1, Episode 6, The Invisible Hand. When I read that title at first, I'm like, what? And I'm still like that. What? I don't understand this at all. But of course, while we're watching the episode, the context and the reasoning behind why it's called The Invisible Hand will hopefully be revealed, because I'm trying to think what this could mean. Maybe it has something to do with something in the storyline where something happens. They don't know how it happened, so they're questioning who could have done this and referencing to like where nobody saw this happen or something, or maybe something was taken. I don't know. Could be referencing a villain in the episode. I have no clue. I'm really curious. I really am curious because it's an interesting title. I have no clue. I'm loving the hell out of this show. Probably sound like a broken record at this point because I pretty much say this in all the intros now because I just keep praising the hell out of the show. But it's true. I literally am mad at myself for not starting the show sooner, because a lot of you guys over the last couple of years have been saying, you need to check the show out. And I just kept looking at other stuff and thinking of other things I could do. I shouldn't have waited. I really should not have waited. I've really missed out. I really have. The last episode was Sandman. The birth of Sandman was so well done, and just how they're coming up with these great ways to introduce, you know, a lot of these villains early on, and then they become the actual villains we know. And just seeing how Spider-Man once again was in a situation where he's fighting a villain, Sandman, in the last episode. They had no idea how to fight, and just him having to learn as he's going along, trying to fight back and realizing, I'm way over my head once again. But he figures it out because Peter is smart, but of course there's bumps along the way. And Gwen revealing, well, not really revealing to Peter, but we know that she's in love with him or likes him. You know, I think she's more like she likes him, but I don't know. It feels like this is maybe something that's been around for a while, and they're just now finally telling us that, oh yeah, Gwen's like Peter. We kind of know that from the comics, that's a thing, but in the context of the show, I didn't know that if they were going to go that direction, and it seems like they are. So we'll see if Peter is smart enough to realize what's happening, because he completely had no clue on the bus when she's like, maybe you can ask me to the dance, and he had no clue. So I'm really enjoying the show. I can't wait to get to this episode and see what it's all about. I get so excited each week, getting closer and closer to watching the show again, because I'm loving it so much. So let's get into it now, guys. Episode 6, The Invisible Hand. Let's go.
Look, O'Hearn, you'll be tough. Tough enough to bring down you-know-who. Then what's the holdup?
What's the holdup?
I need super mercenaries I can mass produce, no matter how many thugs we have to go through, or how many doctors.
Jesus.
A thick, impenetrable hide. Extras
I
up
think.
top there provide offensive capabilities.
Call him the big man. What's going on?
The big man.
Mind your own business, O'Hearn.
Right.
Business. Better get to it then.
When Spidey's too busy popping big bags to worry about us.
He's gonna get you.
Say my name and
Ta-da!
I magically appear.
I'll have to say what he's gonna do. Good, good. Okay. I wasn't expecting that.
Trust me, Mr. Jameson. When Spidey goes into action, I'll be there.
Listen, you
split again.
insufferable whelp.
That's nice.
When your publisher, you, Benny, I said.
That was nice. I like that.
Miss Brandt, I'm May Parker, Peter's aunt. Might
Oh.
I buy you a cup of coffee?
Oh, okay.
Well,
Okay.
it's official. Puny Parker's got a date.
Puny Parker? He's just walking around. Oh, Daily Bugle. That's not good.
No one.
Oh boy. Destroying everything, of course.
I'll give you 15 seconds to write me a check for these damages, or... I mean, how may I be of service?
Sir. Right over there.
Oh, never met the guy. No address either. Only makes contact by email.
I'm glad Peter's found such good people to work
I'm
with.
surprised he didn't say anything, though.
Old for it, dear.
It's for for your own safety, Pickle Puss.
It's for your own safety. Dang.
Hey, watch it.
Yeah.
Those are expensive.
Turning Flash
The big
Thompson
man.
into the belligerent bug zapper?
Ooh. Oh shit.
No!
Nope.
Hey, Needle Nose!
Ooh. Good dodge.
You'll find dessert.
Oh.
Really?
Careful. Oh shit. My God. Yeah, might want to run.
This always works in the cartoons.
Nope. This is not the cartoons.
Wait, wait.
What?
Wait. I get it now. What?
You missed.
Nope. That was good. I like that.
Let's go for a run.
Oh, I love that. He's running on the ceiling. That's really cool. Ooh.
What's the matter? Mouth a little dry?
Yeah, exactly. Found his weakness.
Big man's guys told me I'm impenetrable.
Too true. And if nothing can penetrate, you can't perspire. Your face is sweating for your whole body.
Exactly.
It's probably enough under most conditions.
Wow.
But in a steam tunnel.
This is crazy.
Not my mama.
Not my mom.
Yes, I think we are.
Mama, do I have to go to school?
Tell Mama.
What the fuck is going on right now? Oh, who's the big man?
We don't ever use the B word. Call him Mr. Lincoln.
People are beginning to ask questions.
I mean,
Best to let things cool off for a bit.
We cool off
Oh.
when the big man says so. See?
I made the varsity football team first string, and I have a date to tonight's fall formal with one of the hottest
Harry,
girls in...
can't you see I'm in a meeting?
Didn't mean to.
sorry, Harry.
interrupt.
Oh, okay. What was that? What was that?
I'll sue him blind.
Is it safe to come out yet?
Peter, I'll find my own way home.
Gotta make something go right.
That guy finally got out of the elevator.
Mr. Foswell?
Ow! That was good.
You should make an appointment, but perhaps we'll make an exception for the hero of the day. I am L. Thompson Lincoln.
Please, you're
Okay.
the big man.
My favorite is Tombstone.
Back off. I just took down the rhino.
I was
Pale guy in
wrong.
suit.
Oh, shit.
As long as I keep fighting crime, you'll keep making bigger and badder.
Now you're learning. There is a way out.
Is there?
Work for me.
Let's finish this.
You won't win.
You insist.
I don't think.
Officers, Spider-Man has trespassed on my property.
Oh.
Assaulted my employees and threatened my person.
Wait! You can't listen to him.
Well, then, isn't it lucky that Anna Watson's niece, that sweet Mary Jane, is on her way over?
Miss Wonderful Personality.
Ooh.
You mean you're Mary Jane Watson?
Face it, Tiger. You just hit the jackpot.
Yes. Yes. That's nice. Okay, I was like, what? Another great episode of the Spectacular Spider-Man, in my opinion. Holy crap. There's a lot of things we have to talk about. I love how this episode opened with the birth of Rhino. Like, they wasted no time getting to it. We had to wait a little bit to get to Sandman's birth in the last episode, but this, they're like, no, we're just going to get right to Rhino. And he's massive. He's a big rhino, and that's really cool. And I like the design of him and everything. And I thought the fighting throughout the episode of him fighting Spider-Man, which was a good portion of this episode, was really well done in terms of showing how strong he is and how basically impossible, in a sense, it is to stop him. And it was just reminding me a lot of watching the X-Men animated series from the 90s and watching Juggernaut in that show, and then other iterations of Juggernaut where he's pretty much unstoppable. I kind of like how they went that approach with Rhino, even though they've done that in the comics and stuff before, but I just felt like in this instance it felt more like that, which was making me happy because Rhino is a very strong character, and there's a lot of instances where Spider-Man pretty much figures out a way to really just punch his way through it. But in this case, they did not go that direction at all. Every time he tried to hit him, either just fist or running around trying to hit him, he could hit him in the face, and that was doing some damage, but not much. But basically showing Spider-Man, once again, you have to learn how to fight Rhino. Like, you can't just punch your way out of this, and I think that was pretty smart. We'll get back to Rhino in a minute. I want to talk about a couple other things, because we had two big reveals in this episode. Number one, and I'm actually glad that I was wrong, even though I would have loved to have seen Kingpin, the big man is not Kingpin. The big man is Tombstone, and the design of Tombstone was very interesting, and I'm like, okay, wait a minute, because at first I was a little confused. I'm going to have to go back and rewatch that scene again where he confronts Tombstone, but at first I'm thinking, wait, is he implying that he's not the big man, and the big man is truly Kingpin? But the more I kept watching, I'm thinking, no, I think he's actually saying he is. I have to go back and just watch again, because I was getting a little confused at first, but the reveal that Tombstone is behind all this, and it's not Kingpin. I guess Kingpin is the easy choice, or the easy assumption. So I'm glad that I was wrong. I'm glad that I was wrong about that. And showing how strong he is and how fast he is, too, I think that pretty much shows Spider-Man, hey, I don't know if you'll be able to fight this guy. I don't know. I mean, obviously, Spider-Man has fought Tombstone and is able to overcome that, but I feel like what they did with that little small scene was reveal the big man, so I'm kind of glad they did that, but also the fact that Tombstone, he is probably as strong as Rhino, maybe, but he's so fast and quick, like, because Rhino, like, he's fast, but Peter could see him from a mile away when he's running at him. Tombstone, like, literally, I guess, maybe he also surprised Peter by, attacking him, but it was just like, this is a whole another approach you got to go with once again. And I think that's the smart choice about this show, is that this is, and I mentioned this earlier in another episode reaction, where Peter is not I wouldn't say veteran Spider-Man. Like, he hasn't been Spider-Man for a couple of years. He's only been Spider-Man for like a couple of months. So he's used to fighting a certain type of criminal. Now he's having to fight these super villains, these villains that are being created or they're turned into in some sort of freak accident, like Electro. So it's like, this is a whole new way he has to be a hero, and it's kind of crazy. The other big reveal in this episode that I didn't know when they were going to do this, because they had been teasing this for the last couple episodes, was Mary Jane Watson, and she said the line. She said the line. It was so good. It was so good to hear that line, because, of course, I believe that was the first time we ever saw Mary Jane in the comics. She said that exact line. I believe it's that exact way that she said it in this episode. It was so good. Face it, Tiger. Was it Face it, Tiger? But she said Tiger. Like, once I heard that, I'm like, oh, and then she just, face it, Tiger, you hit the jackpot. I think that was the actual line. It was so good, and the design of her is great. And I don't know why, I just found it interesting. Every single time they would mention Mary Jane before, and he would go, like, whatever type of personality I think Aunt May had said that she had, like, he would shiver. Like, I don't know why that's such a silly little thing, but it was just always like they kept going back to that over and over, and he was just like, ooh. Like, he's like, I guess it's just like uncomfortable for him. I don't know, but it was funny. Hammerhead and Norman were having that conversation, and this is something that I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. Harry comes in and goes like, Dad, I did all this stuff. And then Norman tells him to leave. He's like, sure. And then he leaves and he smiles kind of evilly. Evilly, is that a word? He smiles kind of, kind of like something's up or whatever as he's walking away from his dad's room as he closes the door. I'm like, what are you up to, Harry? Like, what are you doing? Like, what's going on here? Like, what are they trying to set up? I don't know what they're doing, but something's up. Something's up. We had a brief scene of Eddie talking to Gwen and asking potentially to go to the formal dance. I don't know, maybe in the next episode we'll see the dance. Maybe. I'm not really sure. But we saw that little moment, and I'm thinking, man, because see, they kept mentioning Mary Jane, and the more I kept thinking about it, I'm thinking, are they going to introduce Mary right now? Are they going to introduce Mary Jane Watson when we have Gwen right now? I don't know. Maybe. I'm not sure, but they're going ahead with it. They're introducing Mary Jane, and we have Gwen, who also likes Peter. Maybe she actually isn't going to like him anymore. Maybe it's just like a whole. So maybe I was wrong that they were not going to go that direction, because I thought they were just going to keep teasing Mary Jane Watson in different scenarios and stuff, and it just never came to fruition. So I don't know. The action was great throughout this episode, fighting Rhino, and the way that Peter defeated him was really good as well, in terms of using the steam, which only his face could be sweating. Everything else was pretty much impenetrable. That's the positive in terms of being the Rhino, impenetrable suit and everything, but you're not sweating. Like, you're basically, all of it's kept inside, and you that's why he had to keep drinking water constantly. Thought that was a pretty smart thing. Like, oh, I was like, first I'm like, why is he over there at that? He just threw off that hydrant, and he's drinking all that water and stuff, and put his whole face in it, his whole body in it. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Like, oh, it makes more sense now. What's I think what else? I thought it was interesting too that J. Jonah Jameson, he didn't just outright point Rhino to, there's Peter over there. Like, he didn't do that. He didn't, like, hey, he's over there. Surprised by that. I was quite surprised. I'm like, okay, maybe because, like, Peter's a teenager, and it probably really come across as bad. Like, even though we know J. Jonah Jameson is not the greatest of people, that pointing out a teenager for this gigantic villain to just go after, probably not smart. Probably not smart. The guy in the elevator with Rhino, I thought that was interesting too. He literally was riding up with Rhino in the elevator, and he waited till after everything calmed down and settled down to then exit. And then Peter talks to him. I was like, okay, because I was wondering, like, why are we seeing this guy talk to Rhino? Like, what's the significance? And now we know it's because this guy's looked into what was his name, Thompson or something, but Tombstone, he looked into him and everything. And he's kind of a weird dude. Like, you think? You think he's a weird dude? Anything else in particular? I'm trying to think. Well, Peter got turned down from, I forget her name, the secretary of the Daily Bugle, but it works out for the best, because Mary Jane Watson, that's who we're trying to get to here. So I was surprised by that, but I'm glad that they revealed her and all that, because they could have kept teasing her, but I'm kind of glad they got right to it. But overall, good stuff, and I'm curious where we go from here, because now we know who the big man is, and we know that the big man is not wanting to slow down in terms of making villains, and even though Norman's like, we need to, like, calm down for a little bit, and Hammerhead's like, no, we're not doing that. The big man, when the big man says it, then we'll do it. Like, okay. But yeah, so I really enjoyed the episode, as you can tell, I really did, and I'm loving the show, and once again, I hate the fact that we only have a limited amount of episodes. It's not like there's more, but luckily we have the amount of episodes that we do. We can enjoy them because they're here, and they were actually made, thankfully. So what did you guys think of this episode? I'm curious to know your thoughts. Whatever thoughts you have, let me know in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out.